Aware, my beautiful people. If you want to learn how to make your own YouTube and social banners like these, stick around and find out how. If you find this video helpful whatsoever, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. Ring that bell to be notified of new content being uploaded. YouTube's minimum requirements for banners are 2048 by 1152, but we're going to go a little bigger. Head over to GIMP, open a new file, and you'll see there's a size 2560 by 1600. Soon hereafter I realized that the 2560 width is fine, but you need the 1440 resolution to line up with your contrast ratio. First thing I did here was to build a template which shows the safe areas for both TV, PC, tablet and mobile. This template is now available to me in all future projects concerning banners. You'll see I have the opacity of the template layer lowered down quite low so that I can always see the outlines. Firstly, I drew a square with the square select tool to establish the area I want to color green. Using the full bucket and selecting the right color, you can simply just click on that layer and it will color the selected area green. I wanted to give the edge of the green the feel of dissolving pixels, so I took the eraser, changed the brush to square, picked the right size and went to town. I did the exact same thing, but I used the same size, but I used the brush to add little pixels coming off the corrugated line I made. Here we're going to change the opposite side of the green line to black, so you add a new layer and the full bucket and you just change that layer to black. I really like this green on top of the black. It makes the green pop quite a bit. Here I noticed that the hardness on my brushes weren't as high as they were supposed to be, so I'm just cleaning up the outer lines of these blocks and indentations. Here I started adding some logos. All I wanted here was the red piece of the YouTube logo, so I selected my fuzzy select tool and clicked on the red, which selected everything. After you cut out the red piece of the logo, you'll see the background stays behind, so you can just hide it by clicking on the eye next to that specific layer. To add the transparent YouTube logo back into the project, you create a new transparent layer and you just simply paste it onto that layer. Simply just anchor your floating selection down to the layer you created, which will cause them to merge. Using your scale tool, you're now able to resize the logo as you see fit. I decided to make mine substantially smaller because I wanted multiple of them. You can duplicate this layer however many times you want. You'll notice me switching the template layer on and off. That is simply to see that nothing is crossing over the line and cutting off on the narrow resolutions like the mobiles. I did this a couple of more times to get all the logos I wanted in the banner. But with the TikTok one, I just changed the outer color from black to white and it came out really well. I like the idea of the little squares breaking off the line. I thought I'd try adding empty spaces on the green side of the line and it came out really good. For the font, I really liked the Bondschrift semi-bold font. It was nice and bulky and was easy to read, which is very important when creating this kind of art. You'll see my font was behind the green line. It was because the layers were below each other. Once I moved the font layer up over the green line, it showed. So guys, less in this case is more. So try to never use more than 2 fonts in a specific artwork. I only used the one font, but I did change the size of the different words. Creating outer lines in GIMP is very simple. There's 2 ways of doing it. I use the easier way, but you can use the alpha select channel and then go to select and grow and fill the lines with a brush. Alternatively, you can use a drop shadow. Under filters, GIMP has extraordinary tools for you to use for absolutely free. you'd want to do with each of your font layers so that they individually have their outer shadow. I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do around the description of the banner. Firstly, I tried to make a square around it and I tried some different colors. But I really didn't like how that looked. Then I tried coloring in the white with red, which really didn't come out nice as well. But yeah, I really didn't like this either. Once I was happy with the spacing of the font layers, I merged them together so that whatever I do from here on out applies to all 4 layers. I started playing around with outline glows and outline colors, and I was starting to get closer to where I wanted to be. The yellow didn't look too bad. Soon hereafter I hit gold. Never be afraid to experiment. I was looking if it was going to look better on the other side, which it didn't. So I put it right back. So I took a picture of myself against my green screen and then started removing the back end with the fuzzy tool. It was a bit of a mission. GIMP's fuzzy tool isn't as great as Photoshop's, but it does the trick. It takes you a little bit longer, but it does the trick. Once the cleanup crew left, I resized the image to the right size using the scale tool and added it to the right location. Under Filters, Artistic, you'll see really cool artistic tools for you to use. I really like the cartoon filter and the effect it adds to the photograph. Again, I added some outlines using the drop shadow tool, and that came out pretty cool as well. Now I noticed that I had my image on the right place, but I was covering up one of the logos, so I had to move that. I wanted to illustrate the idea of growth, so I found this pretty cool graph arrow on the interwebs, and I decided to use it. Again, we're going to smack that thing with some outlines. I needed to make sure that everything fits within the banner lines of YouTube Studio, so I checked it. It wasn't perfect, so I moved it up a little bit, saved again, and checked again. Never be afraid to check your work twice. Until we as a community work on a logo or a profile picture together, I decided to go for the font layers as the profile picture for now. Now see, at this point I was content. I wasn't quite happy yet, and this was the result. Here I was experimenting with background glows using a paintbrush that you set the hardness and force way down, and it came out pretty epic. I started playing around with outlines and brush glows, and I was quite happy with the outcome. I also wanted to have it look like the glow is falling on my face. So what I was doing was, with a layer on top of my photo layer, I played around with the brush and then deleted the outer edges around my picture. I played with the opacity, but I think I made it too light. I might go back and change it a little higher again. Every time I'd look at these icons, they would look flat. So I decided to add a little bit of a drop shadow just to pop them off the background. Same thing with the green layer, it just felt like it needed to be lifted off the black. At this point I figured I was quite happy with the outcome. The banner came out extremely well, except for one little thing which I added at the end, which was just the please subscribe to next to the font layer, which just completed the entire image for me. For those of you that made it all the way to the end of the video, I thank you very much. Please consider subscribing if this video helped you in any way. Also, hit the like button, ring that bell to be notified whenever new content is being released, and wherever you're in the world, I hope you have a great one. See you in the next video.